Hello everybody and welcome back to the Oxford United Road to Glory career mode. It is the first official episode of Season 5. As you can see here, Lisandro Martinez and Michael Olise both getting ready to make their debuts, as well as Warren, as well at left back. He can't be forgotten about. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this team gets on. Aaron Connolly is on the bench as well, about to make his return to the club, so looking forward to getting him involved. And also in this episode, we will discover who our Champions League opponents are. So very excited about that. But before then, let's kick off the Premier League season here against Fulham. Oh, let's be having you, lads. Let's be having you. It's a big season. We want to go for the treble this season. It's our final season at Oxford, the final season of FC24 career mode. Hard to believe how fast it's all come around. It feels like it was only yesterday that I was playing this game for the first time. Started out with a Brighton career mode, which was a lot of fun. And here we are finishing it with Oxford. So very much looking forward to it. FC25 should be quite interesting with the new features brought into career mode. The deep dive wasn't as deep maybe as I would have liked it. That sounded kind of wrong for some reason. Maybe I just have a dirty mind. But there were some features that were not mentioned on the deep dive that apparently have been confirmed by people who played early versions of the game. Here is Martinez for the very first time. Here's Warren for the first time. Oh lads, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing about these signings. And here's Asana Diao. What a player he's been throughout this career mode. He's in here. Oh, I held up the run at the wrong time. I was in two minds. Do I try and cut in? Do I just keep going forward? But we do get a corner. I need to turn on my fan as well. Holy shit, it is warm in this room. Bear with me 2 seconds. I feel like I've been in Spain the last few weeks and not Ireland. It has been that bloody warm. God love me in Las Vegas next year. I would probably be burnt to a crisp. But anyways, Rhino's whipping in the ball here. Lisandro Martinez! Oh, nearly got a goal on his debut. Oh, Licha. It was so close. Well, anybody who had any doubts about his height, those doubts have been very quickly swept away, because he won that header. He rose highest, but it just beat the post. Lisandro Martinez, who did score a spot kick in the Community Shield on Saturday, which unfortunately Manchester United were not victorious in. But look, there was positives to take from that game. They're saying it's a debut to remember for Flynn, who's been at the club for 5 years now, so don't know what they're talking about there. And Martinez with a good block there. See, Bush. It was a tough decision to put him on the bench, but when you've got a player the quality of Lisandro Martinez that you can bring in, you have to play him. And here's Olise. Speaking of debut goals, Michael Olise, with his first real move of the game, scores the goal that opens up our campaign. That made no sense. Scores the opening goal of the campaign is what I'm trying to say, here against Fulham, and gets a goal on his debut. Well, this is the first time I've ever used him in career mode this year, Michael Olise. I've wanted to use him for a while. I forgot actually to mention in the last episode, he no longer plays for Crystal Palace. He has, of course, signed for Bayern Munich in real life. I completely forgot about that. But in this career mode, he plays for Oxford United. And he scored an excellent goal here, which gives us the lead against Fulham. JJ celebrates. There's a manager hungry to win a treble. And congratulations to Oxford United as well, winning their first game back in the Championship by 2-0 against Norwich. No easy feat. Norwich are not the easiest team to come up against, so long may that last for Oxford. I'll be paying a lot more attention this year to their games. Hopefully get to watch a few more, and I will be purchasing the jersey. I did buy the Oxford kit this season, but I ordered it, I should say, and then I got a notification to say they no longer had them in my size, which was frustrating. But I got the money back for it, so it's not a big deal. But this season, I will have to get it sooner rather than later to make sure we avoid that. And if we do get to a Champions League final, it would be nice to have the Oxford kit on during that. So I'll try and get on that as soon as I can. But here come Fulham now on the attack. Oh, Diao, Warren. Bit of a mix-up there, but Warren's done really well. Our new left back. Eric, of course, is still on the bench. Is Jarrett now. Go on, Jeff, the captain. Unlucky. Well, he's lifted the League Cup, he's lifted the Conference League, but now he wants the big three: the Premier League, the FA Cup and the Champions League. Here's Will Holmes. Oh, go on, Will. Will Holmes, who broke the goal-scoring record last season in the Premier League, in off the post. He gets off to the perfect start in this campaign. I think it took him a little bit longer to score last season, if memory is serving me correctly, but he's not taken very long this season. He's put us 2-0 up here against the Cottagers. Tony Khan, look away now, because Will Holmes smacks it home in off the post. That's a lovely finish. Perfect finish. Let's look at it from this angle. Oh, that is fantastic. I love Will Holmes. I love these randomly generated players that you sign like in the early stages of career mode who go on to be absolute beasts. Those are some of my favourite types of players to sign because they're so unique to your career mode. Like literally nobody else has them. So that's what I always love about these types of players. Jarrett there with the good tackle. Here's Olise. Bazunu. Oh, unlucky. Guanzio. Ah, unlucky. Here's Pereira, pre-season Pele. Castro. Oh, that's a good strike, but Gavin Bazunu, well, he's showing that he's not lacking any sharpness coming into the new season. As I said, probably my favourite goalkeeper I've used all year. He's been absolutely fantastic, Bazunu. Oh, that was a bit of an awkward one there, but we managed to deal with it. Here's Conor Gallagher. Big season for him. And we are looking to bring in another midfielder as well, but I'll keep you posted on that as it happens. But that's just for the bench, really, more than anything. Conor Gallagher's gone on a fantastic run here, and Conor Gallagher has just scored an absolutely fantastic goal. That was very similar to Ruud van Nistelrooy's goal against Fulham back in the day. That was in 2003, in a game that United won 3-0, a Van Nistelrooy hat-trick. And this may not be a hat-trick for Conor Gallagher, but it's a hat-trick of Oxford United goals in the first half here. And we are absolutely sweeping them to the side. Lovely finish by Gallagher. I was hoping he would have scored a few more goals last season, and I think that we've given him an objective this season to score a few more, because I tell you what, he looked like a man on a mission on that run there. And it's Oxford United 3, Fulham 0, and so far so good this season. Fantastic. I will miss this team. I really will. I've gotten to that stage of career mode now that you get towards the end of your time with a certain team, where it's like, look, you know, it's probably the best time to move on, especially with the new game coming up. But I'll miss this team. I really will. But let me tell you this, right? It won't be the last time we do Oxford United on this channel. Hopefully one of these days Oxford can get promoted to the Premier League in real life. I'd love to be able to start an Oxford career mode in the Premier League. That would be pretty cool. I have an idea of the 3 career modes I want to do for FC25 on YouTube. As Gallagher goes on another good run here. Jarrett's in the middle. Oh, I couldn't quite find him. Can he find Rhino? Olise. He's onside. Rhino, have a go, lad. Oh, it's a good tackle, in fairness. No, it's not. It's a free kick. Ah, but it's half time. We would have gotten the free kick in the perfect position, but the referee blew for the half-time break, which Fulham badly needed. But 3-0 here in the first half. So far so good. Let's keep that momentum going into the second half. I will want to bring on Aaron Connolly as well at some stage in this game, just to give him his mighty return to Oxford, which I'm very much looking forward to. His Spence into Olise. Now Rhino. Love to get his first gore of the season. Oh, that's a good run. Go on, lad. Fantastic. Rhino. Oh, I just beat the post. Did everything right but the finish. And Fulham are already making a change here in the second half. Somerville replaces pre-season Pele. Unlucky Andreas, lad. It's a shame it never really worked out for Pereira at United, because as I say, in pre-season he was unplayable. But then when it came to the actual season, apart from a brief spell in the 18-19 season, he just wasn't able to translate it over to the first team when it mattered. Oh, but here come Fulham. That's good football. Oh, but we're lucky that Raul... I was going to say Raul Jimenez. That's not Raul Jimenez, is it? Well, whoever that is, Raul, does not appear to have a decent weak foot. At least I hope for his sake that was his weak foot, because if that was his strong foot, then I would be very worried if I was a Fulham fan. But there's Warren, the Kieran Trippier regen, who is left-footed, so we convert him to left-back, which suited us fine. Jeff Jarrett. Oh, good block by the defender. Let's leave that go out for the corner. Why not? Half an hour to go here. Rhino will whip this in. Will Martinez get on the end of it again? Can he get a debut goal? It is in towards him, but it's headed away. Gallagher out to Diao. What can he do? Oh, good strike, but another good save. Well, who will ever forget that goal he got in the Conference League last year against Salzburg in the quarter-final? That was something special. Amrabat, another former United player, comes off the bench here. Let's put Olise on this corner, actually. Let's see what his corner kicks are like. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, it's fantastic. I was going to say, maybe we could have put a bit more power behind it, but it managed to fall for Will Holmes, and it's 4-0. Oh, lads, this team, you can tell, has been taken to the next level. What an absolutely fantastic goal that was. Olise's ball in. I have to see this again. Well, I tell you what, he's going to have to go on corners now. I thought Rhino's deliveries were excellent, but Olise... That was... Oh my god, that was a majestic ball in. It fell so kindly for Will Holmes, who has a brace now here on the opening day of the season. Can he get a hat-trick against Fulham? Well, he's still got 25 minutes to do so. Not going to make any changes yet. I'll probably wait till a little bit later in the game. Oh, here's Rhino. Edge of the box here. Will Holmes. Deflected. Oh, into the arms of the keeper. Unlucky. I'm loving this team, lads. Absolutely loving this team. I will want to bring on Goodrum as well. He'll still have an important role to play in this team, Tyler Goodrum. Don't you worry about that. May not start every game, but we know how good he can be. He had a brilliant season last season. Oh, Martinez with a good tackle. Somerville keeps onto it, though. Raul. Good save. And thankfully headed wide. Out for a goal kick. Right, let's make some changes now. I will bring on Goodrum. We'll put him there instead of Diao. Let's also bring on Lucas. Why not? Because Rhino's a little bit tired. And that's all I'll do for now. 20 minutes to go. Good time to make a couple of changes. Freshen things up. As we get the goal kick here. I tell you what, lads, my mouth is on fire as well. One of my back teeth and my gum. I've never felt pain like it before. It is excruciating. I've taken so many painkillers to the point where you could call me Perk Angle. No offense, Kurt. But here's Goodrum. And not Tyler Goodrum, Will Holmes, I should say, has the hat-trick. Tyler Goodrum with the assist. Will Holmes will be bringing home the match ball today. You love to see it. 5-0. Well, this is a better start than I was expecting. I thought Fulham would have put up a much tougher... would have proven to have been a much tougher test for us. But Tyler Goodrum comes off the bench, instantly gets an assist. Will Holmes seals his first hat-trick of the season. Keeper got nowhere near it. They may be wearing pink, Fulham, but they ain't looking pretty. But the scoreline looks very pretty for us. Oxford 5, Fulham 0. Absolutely fantastic. And lads, I think it'll be time now to bring on Aaron Connolly. I think this is the perfect time to do so. Let's just try and... oh, not concede here. Oh, you bastards. You absolute bastards. I hate conceding goals like that. They do nothing all game and then they get a poxy fucking goal like that. Pricks. Oh, right. Well, you know what? I was going to take off Will Holmes, but now you've pissed me off. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to put Lucas out wide. Olise, you've had a great debut. You can come off for Will Holmes. For Aaron Connolly making his grand return to Oxford United. So Holmes and Connolly up front. And yeah, that's the only change I'll actually make. As the Undertaker's old theme song used to say, you've done it now. You've gone and made a big mistake. And the first thing that happens to Aaron Connolly is he gets absolutely flattened. Oh my god. Well, if he got injured there, I would have cried. I would have actually... there would have been genuine tears. But here's his compatriot, Tyler Goodrum. Aaron Connolly. That's a penalty. That referee! That was surely a spot kick. Oh, come on. I don't think he won the ball there. Amrabat now. Loses it to Flynn. 5 minutes left. Come on, I want to get this Aaron Connolly goal. Oh, it's really annoyed me that they've scored that goal. I know it's only a consolation, but still. They've done very little all game, and then they get one clear-cut chance, and they bloody take it. Ah, it's frustrating. It is frustrating. But anyways, we're approaching added time here. Fulham all of a sudden now have turned into a comparable team. 4 added minutes here, Somerville. And he runs it straight out of play. Right, come on. Let's try and get on one last attack. It's Flynn. Out to Jed Spence. Oh, go on. Have a run, lad. Have a run. Oh, well done. Will Holmes. Will Holmes. Oh, couldn't have back for Connolly. And that's it. Well, it's 5-1. A fantastic opening day of the season. Really disappointed with that goal they got at the end. Goals like that irritate me, but I need to focus on the positives. Just like this, Will Holmes on the first game of the season bringing home the match ball. Olise getting a debut goal. Lisandro Martinez putting in a fantastic performance as well. And look, at least Aaron Connolly's back. That's the main thing. And we start off our campaign with 3 huge points. Let's move on into the Brentford game now, which will be our first away game of the season, which I'll show you the highlights of, but also we'll show you any transfer business that happens in between then as well. So as you can see here, Ben Doak has been sold to West Ham United for $10.5 million, so $8.5 million has been added to our transfer budget. So I'm going to have a look there again in the background to see if there's any updates on the midfielders we've been scouting, and let's see if there's any business we can do before the transfer window closes. So lads, I just had a mini heart attack because my game completely crashed when I at first attempted to do the highlights of this game. So unfortunately that means that Conor Gallagher has been denied 2 goals in 2 games, because literally what happened was the first attack we got was with Conor Gallagher, who scored a brilliant goal, and then the game crashed. And I had a bad feeling that we were going to have to do the Fulham game as well, which thankfully is not the case, but it did mean we had to restart this Brentford game, which Brian Mbeumo, the former Clon United player, I should say, very nearly scored a beautiful fish and chip goal there, but thankfully it went over the bar. But Asana Diao, he got his first goal of the season. Great ball by Will Holmes. Diao with the finish. Holmes showing he can assist them as well as score them, and that got Diao's campaign up and running in the goal scoring side of things. Gavin Bazunu, I keep saying it, but I love this man so much. Look at that for a save. Clean through. They were getting some BS bloody highlights. That's the worst angle possible. You're literally at the other end of the pitch. Why are they showing it from that angle? And then Conor Gallagher very nearly got another goal here. Tight angle. Good save by the keeper. But Rhino was there to put in his first. Gore. It was right on the line. I don't think it was going to sneak in for Gallagher, so Rhino had to put it in, and it was a 2-0 win here at the GTEC Stadium to give us our second 3 points of the season and our first clean sheet as well. So lads, we did end up bringing in another midfielder. Here he is, Gergaard, I think is how you say his name, Moritz Gergaard. So we swapped one of the free agents we brought in, Santos, plus 15 million. I felt like we had enough wingers that we could sacrifice one of the free agent ones. We still have Correa, who's a centre forward who can play out wide as well. So we're converting him to a winger. So we haven't really lost out on anything there. We had too many wingers, really, to be honest with you. So I'm glad that we've cleared away a few of them. And we've brought in Gergaard. He will be our rotational option off the bench. 6'4", 24 years old, 82 rated. I think he is a very solid signing to have to rotate around in the midfield. So hopefully he might make his debut in this next game, which will be against West Ham United at the Kassam. Well, I tell you what, lads, this was one of the most frustrating games I had in a very, very long time. It was getting to a stage where it had 0-0 written all over it. Did not mean to go into that. Michael Olise, though, he is an absolute baller. I mean, in other news, water is wet. So unlucky not to get the opening goal there, but that was one of many chances he had in the first half. Don't know why they're only showing me one highlight. He had plenty of them. But then in the second half, he went on a brilliant solo run. Half an hour to go. I was getting a little bit frustrated, a little bit worried, but he evaporated all those worries by scoring a brilliant solo goal. Lovely finish there by Olise. Will Holmes then, he didn't have an awful lot to do today, but he was given one good chance here and he took it. That was 2-0 and that was game, set and match. I brought on Bloom for a bit and I don't know what possessed me to have this strike, but I tell you what, I don't know if this angle is going to do it justice, but for a second I thought it was going to swerve into that top corner. If that had gone in, Bloom would have been, he should have been given the Ballon d'Or there and then. But look at the way that swerved. And I thought from there it was dipping in, but unfortunately not. But anyways, that was a 2-0 win over West Ham, and we still have to play some London teams because our next game is against a familiar foe in Tottenham Hotspurs. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking fuming right now. I'm absolutely fucking fuming at the bullshit that we just had to see in this fucking game. So things got off to a very lively start, and Ndombele getting a red card. He went right through the back of Will Holmes, nearly taking him out. Absolute fucking scumbag. So that was the very beginning of the game. But then, Irishman Troy Parrott, I used to work with the guy who went to school with Troy Parrott, gets that fucking goal. Like, please explain how Troy Parrott, no offence to the man, he's a better footballer than me, how is he able to score this? Whacks it in on his weaker side. That was 1-0. Rhino then scored. I'm not going to lie, lads. I'm not in the mood to do the whole gore thing. That was 1-1. I'm flying through this. Albie Warren then, our new left back, scoring a brilliant goal. Kieran Trippier's regen, scoring against one of Trippier's former teams to make it 2-1. But then Troy Parrott just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm not Troy Parrott. I'm actually just going to turn into Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and scored another goal to make it 2-2. And then right at the end of the half, Bissouma, would you believe, scoring his first goal of the season. Not like that ever happens enough in this fucking career mode. That was 3-2. Jeff Jarrett then made it 3-3 right at the end of the half. Olise with a good run. I thought for a second Jarrett had missed it, but it rolled into that bottom corner. There was a few chances here, nothing really of note. But then Orban, look at this. Look at this. It just fell so kindly for him. Kulusevski with the ball in. We headed away. But that's so fucking irritating. I thought Will Holmes had rescued a point. It was 4-4, just like it was in our very first Premier League game, which was against Tottenham. But nope, Orban then in the last minute, look at this. The most scripted fucking goal you'll ever see in your life. 5-4. I mean, how is that squeezed in from there? How is he squeezing that in from there? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That was 5-4. Tottenham, I hope you get fucking relegated, you pricks. Well, lads, at least we can officially reveal our Champions League group for the first time in the history of Oxford United Football Club. And let's just say, it's a relatively decent one. I think that looking at the teams we have here, I reckon we are the favourites. So we have Villarreal from Spain, who have been kind of a mixed team I've played in career mode over the years. They're either brilliant or they're not. I don't know why I'm shouting right now. I'm really sorry. I'm still really hyped after that Tottenham game. But Villarreal would probably be the toughest opponent we have in this group. We then have Feyenoord, who will be our first game, as you can see there, on the 21st of September. They obviously are from the Dutch League. And then you have St. Gallen, who I believe are a Swiss team, if memory is serving me correctly. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that Champions League group. I reckon we should be the favourites to top it, but some tricky teams in there. But very, very much looking forward to getting into our first Champions League game, which will be right after this game that I will show you the highlights of against Bournemouth. Thankfully, we go back to winning ways in this game. We played the highlights again. Great ball here for Tyler Goodrum. Brought it down really well. We did make a few changes as well, just with the Champions League coming up, but chested it down beautifully, Tyler Goodrum, and he slotted it home for his first goal of the season. Bournemouth then in the next attack did get the equaliser, because of course they did. Gallagher, no strength at all there. Absolutely zero strength. And he blasted it past Gavin Bazunu. But then Aaron Connolly with his first goal back in Oxford United yellow. Great header there by Gerrard. And Connolly was there to slot it home, which gave us a 2-1 victory over Bournemouth. Now let's get into our very first UEFA Champions League game. So here it is, lads, the Champions League graphic and all. I tell you what, as much as I'm looking forward to this, I can't wait to not have to talk for a while. My mouth is on absolute fire. Bloody hell. I'm probably going to have to go to the dentist some stage this week. But anyways, let's try and get the morale up as high as it can be going into this Champions League game. JJ giving all the right answers as per usual. And we will go with the strongest team, because of course we will. It's our first Champions League game here at the Kassam. Interesting team there from Feyenoord. A couple of players that stand out. They've got a regen there, Gonzalez on the right, so it'll be interesting to see what he's like. Van de Belt in the midfield. I reckon though that this is a team we should be beating. I still think Villarreal will be the toughest opponent we have in the Champions League group. But that's the team we're going with. I don't know why I had a bit of a lisp there when I said that's weird. But anyways, I'm sorry lads, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm on a lot of medication at the moment, so I probably sound like my train of thoughts going all over the place. But anyways, let's just get into it. The UEFA Champions League, Oxford United versus Feyenoord. Let's do this thing. And I just saw there as well that Will Holmes has gone up to 83 rated. You love to see that. But the Oxford fans, they can't believe it. After winning a European trophy last season, they are now taking place in Europe's elite competition, the Champions League. Oh, it just looks right, lad. The Champions League ribbons there going across the stadium. I hate how we don't get the full match build-up like we used to, but that will be back next year. But here we go. Oxford United, for the first time in their history, are playing Champions League football against a decent Dutch team in Feyenoord. I imagine that they probably won the Dutch League last year. That's probably why they have gone right into the group stage of the Champions League. But here's Diao now. Will Holmes is in the middle. Oh, what a moment this would be. Oh, nearly got our first Champions League goal there. And that will go out for our throw-in. Here's Spence. Good run. Will Holmes. It had to be Will Holmes, didn't it, to score the very first Champions League goal in the history of Oxford United. It's 1-0 here at the Kassam against Feyenoord. What a finish that was as well. Jed Spence did really well to keep that in. It was a brilliant run, and Will Holmes has put that past Blake in the Feyenoord net. Oh, you beauty. Oh, soak it in, lads. It's the first time Oxford have ever scored a Champions League goal, and there was no better man to get it than Will Holmes. Oh, you love to see it. And we take the lead here on match day 1. But it's going to be interesting next year seeing the league phase instead of the group stage. That is going to be a bit of an adjustment for all the European competitions, but I'm intrigued to see how it goes as well. Oopsie daisy, didn't mean to press that. Gavin Bazunu, delighted to be playing Champions League football. It was funny because I remember when I signed Bazunu in the Championship, he was like the first, I think he was the first signing we made in that transfer window, and he would only accept a 2-year deal. Initially asked for a 1-year deal, but he'd only accept as much as a 2-year deal because the rest of the squad wasn't looking great. We were in the Championship, we'd just come up from League One, so he needed to see how the project was going to go. And I bet he's glad he stayed now. And let's hope we can wrap it up this season by winning the Champions League and the treble. Here's Diao. This is surely 2-0. Yes, it is! It's Rhino, and it's a gore in the Champions League. 2-0. I tell you what, lads, that really hurt to do that. Oh my god. The pain I'm in right now is excruciating. But listen, if Kurt Angle can win a gold medal with a broken frickin' neck, I can win a game on FC24 in the Champions League with a sore frickin' tooth. But a good save initially from Diao's strike. Rhino is there though to tap it in. I think he scored in the first Conference League game as well, Rhino, and now he scored in the Champions League. Look at that Champions League badge on the jersey. It just looks so right. And hopefully one day in real life this can be a reality for Oxford United playing in the Champions League. But I'm so glad that we've got here, and I'm so glad that I feel like we have quite a decent chance at winning it. I'd be gutted if we ended this career mode without winning the Champions League. I really would. Here's Diao again though. He's on fire in this episode, especially in this game. Ooh, probably just needed a bit more power behind the cross, but we still have it here. Here's Martinez, Gallagher. Now Warren. Nobody in the middle. Oh, but there is now. But just couldn't get the cross into an Oxford United player. Feyenoord now looking to break here. They haven't threatened at all in this game, which is interesting. And they do have their real stadium in the game as well, Feyenoord, so that'll be nice to play out as well. Oh, that is a good ball in though. Warren does well to get that away. I'm not happy with the goals we've conceded in this episode. Those goals against Tottenham, though, were fucking ridiculous. I was so angry, lads. That's probably the most angry I've been playing this game in quite a while. It's our first loss of the season as well. Tottenham and Arsenal, the two North London teams, have been probably the most two awkward teams for us to come up against that aren't from Belgium. We're approaching the half-time break here. Still 2-0 up. Feyenoord seeing a little bit more of the ball as we dispossessed them, but not able to threaten us just yet. Here's Gavin Bazunu. Clears it over to Diao. Here's Will Holmes. Over to Martinez. Him and Flynn have momentarily swapped sides for some reason. Come on, let's try and get a third goal before half-time. Go on, Leach. Go on a run. Here's Jarrett. What's Rhino? Have a go. Ah. Didn't have enough space there to get the shot off, and it's gone right into the arms of the Feyenoord keeper, and that should be half-time unless we get one more chance here. Yet again, Rhino. No, it runs right into the defender, but who cares? 2-0 up at half-time. Playing brilliant football. Oxford United fans pinching themselves. They can't believe they're here. Well, believe it, lads, because you are. And it's the perfect start to this game. Let's get on into the second half. It's annoying as well, though. I may as well reveal this. League Cup third round, we got Chelsea. So we can't even get an easy draw on that. I feel like we always get tough teams in the first round of cup competitions in this career mode. So we will still rotate a little bit. Obviously, Aaron Connolly will be very much looking forward to that game. The cup man himself is Will Holmes. Have a go, lad. Excuse me. Oh god, I was in the middle of burping and commentating there. But Blake made the save. He'll clear that away. Come on, I want to get this third goal. They still haven't had a shot on target yet, Feyenoord. Oh, but they could be in here. Here's Gonzalez. Now Stengs. Oh, that's a good ball. Zaruki! Ooh. Beat Bazunu, but beat the post as well. They're going to make a change now, Feyenoord. It's Gonzalez to come off, which is interesting. I meant to check what rating he was as well. I'll check that in the next game, it's all good. Just out of curiosity. Always like to see what those regens ratings are. It's Burnley up next in the Premier League. That'll be the first game in the next episode. So the next episode will probably be a rake of highlights, lads, just to try and get through this season as quickly as we can. Oh, it's a good play. Jeff Jarrett. Oh, he'd love a goal on his Champions League debut. The man who scored in the Conference League final and lifted the trophy. Our captain, who I'm glad we never had to sell. We did have a condition that we had to get to the Champions League by this season in order for him to stay. And thankfully, oh, he did. That's a poor ball. Oh, it's a poor ball. But he's given the free kick. Alright, let's make some changes. Rhino's a bit tired. Let's bring on Goodrum. I want to give him an appearance at the Champions League. Olise can go number 10. Goodrum can go out on the wing. And you know what, Martinez is a little bit tired. We'll bring on Bush. Give him an appearance at the Champions League as well. Because why not? Freshen things up a bit for the final 25 minutes or so. It's Bush and Flynn back together again in Europe's elite competition. You love to see it. But it's great to have this. Just the strength and depth that we have is fantastic. It really is. We don't have a weak position. Olise, oh, I tell you what. There's an interesting strike. Will Holmes is creeping up behind the defender there. Is Jarrett. Have a go, lad. The amount of blocks. The amount of blocks. It's like me on Twitter. Block, block, block. And that's not because people are particularly mean to me on Twitter. It's because I get followed by so many spam accounts these days. It's crazy. But Feyenoord looking to pull one back here. Oh, Diao, fantastic. Into Will Holmes. We look to break again. Come on, Will. Olise. Ah, it's not the ball I was looking for, but he still managed to get there. Olise, is this going to be 3-0? Yes, it is. And that has surely wrapped up our first 3 points in the Champions League. A great start to life in Europe's elite competition. Michael Olise, his brilliant form with Oxford continues. What a signing he's proven to be. He's officially a right winger now as well. We were able to convert him. Beautiful finish. Oxford United 3, Feyenoord 0. I think that's another good chance here to make some changes. He's a bit tired now as well, Olise. We'll bring on Lucas. We'll give Aaron Connolly an appearance in the Champions League. And yeah, that's all we'll do for now. 14 minutes to go. Freshen things up for the Premier League game this weekend as well. Against Burnley, who have never been an easy team for me to come up against either. Burnley do tend to be one of the more tricky teams to come up against in career mode. Mark Olbridge knows a thing or two about that as well. But what an opening day in the Champions League for Oxford. Let's just try and keep this clean sheet now. Really don't want to concede it. That was the only annoying thing about that Fulham game. The goal that we conceded. It felt like it was very avoidable as well. But oh well. That's FC24 in a nutshell for you. Here's Goodrum. Be nice to get him a goal on his Champions League debut. But the defender intercepts. Bandon Belt now. Feyenoord looking to get one last opportunity here. It's a decent ball in, but Spence does really well with it. And Zaruki is Valmark. Probably saying that wrong, but who cares? Come on, lads, don't concede. Don't concede. Great tackle by Warren. Oh, that's fantastic. Bush deals with it too. Let's take the free kick. Why not? Waste a bit of time. We'll make one more change. Who else do I want to give a Champions League appearance to? Let's give one to Bloom. We'll give Spence a rest. Why not? Bloom, who's been here since season 1. He was the very first signing I ever made. Back in League 1, as I say. And now he gets to come on here in the Champions League for the final minute or so against Feyenoord. I love moments like that. But it's 3 points. Oh, that's not a great ball though by Flynn. Oh, that was a poor ball. Oh, if we concede here, I'll be fucking pissed. Oh, for fuck's sake. That is a fucking annoying goal to concede. It was a very bad pass. I'm not going to blame Flynn. It was my fault. It was a stupid pass. Oh, fucking hell. No clean sheet. Oh, but look, it is what it is. It's still 3 points in the Champions League. That's the main thing. We start off our campaign with the victory. That's... Oh, I hate conceding goals like that. Conceded far too many goals in this episode for my liking. But then again, we did win all but one of the games. So that's a good sign. And it's the perfect start to our Champions League campaign. And lads, that will do it for this episode. I need to go and just put some ice on my cheek or something because my tooth is absolutely killing me. So there will be another episode tomorrow, which is Wednesday by the time you hear this, obviously. We will get through a rake of highlights in that game and hopefully get to the nitty-gritty stuff, nitty-gritty stage, I should say, of the Champions League group stage. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. I really, really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Take care and God bless.